How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Squarebody Restoration Part 3. And guess what we got back? Let's give you a look underneath here. There she is. You probably can't see her. Transfer case and trans are back. Transfer case and trans are back. Drive shaft in. I had to wrestle like 32 alligators and like 16 bears just to get my transmission back. This old boy is in here now. Yeah, I don't like to film while I'm working and whatnot, because it's another thing I have to do while I'm working, like stop the recording and like set it up and whatnot. So I just did it. Me and my dad went out here, threw everything in, and the headers actually fit, and I'm impressed because I'm happy I didn't have to spend any more money. I bought exhaust today. I bought clutch return spring, because my clutch return spring that I have, it broke off while I was putting it in there and the clutch wouldn't work. So new clutch return spring. The power steering pump, the power steering pump return line was hitting off the front cross member there. So I'll show you what we have to do. I don't know why they designed it like this, but this right here, we're gonna have to cut that off and then put a flare on it and put some tube on the back of it, and just so it doesn't slide off and whatnot. But yeah, that's the only snag that we're having in the engine bay right now, or we'd have this thing running by now. Everything else is run pretty much. Radiator, heater hose lines, alternators hooked up, everything with the carb. Actually, no, not everything with the carb. We have to get the throttle cable here. It doesn't link up to the throttle body right here. So we're gonna have to take it off the old carb on our old 350 out there in the barn. So we're gonna probably head out there and do that now. But I hope you guys like the look of the new motor there. I really want to hear this thing running, dude. It looks, I hope it runs as good as it looks, because it really cleaned up the look of this engine bay. Oh, also, we redid the hood up here and threw a liner up in here from LMC. Made it look a lot better, and it's going to retain a lot more heat. And I want to show you guys the transmission. This is what happens when you rebuild a transmission. She shifts like butter now. Dude, it'll like shift right in. It's actually crazy. Like before you'd have to fight it a little bit, but like right now, it's like literal. I know it's not running, and like it'll be a lot more difficult whenever it's running, but dude, I like barely even have to touch it. It is so silky smooth. Got the transfer case back here up, all hooked up for the four-wheel drive. Have fluids in the trans. We didn't put any oil in the motor yet, but we will do that sometime either tonight or tomorrow. I don't know when. Oh, one more thing that I wanted to show you guys. It's a little bit of a surprise here. Let's see if I can pick up this box with one hand. Heavy freaking box. Try to do all this with one hand and record. Look at that. 2.5-inch Granatelli exhaust cutouts. Because I'm gonna run true dulls straight through the rear, so this thing's gonna sound really freaking good. See if I can get one of these out yet. I can't film and take stuff out of the bag, but this is the switch right here. I'm gonna clean this up and whatnot so it actually like looks good in the truck. But inside the cab, you'll just flip this switch right here, and then it'll open up a port on here. It opens it up, and it'll essentially be straight piped right after the headers with no mufflers. And for mufflers, I'm going to run thrush welded, 2.5-inch in, 2.5-inch out. I think it'll sound really good. I want a more muffled tone, so it's not like extremely loud just whenever I'm driving around or whatnot. But yeah, because it's going to be my daily driver before I buy something here for a little while, so I don't want to blow my ears out. And then whenever I do want to make it loud, I'll just flip the cutout switch there and she'll be in loud mode. Anybody's wondering about like the fluids that we're running in it. This is what we're going to run for the transfer case, just ATF. And transmission, we already put in 4 quarts of ADW90 gear oil. It has to be, because there's synchros in the manual trans, it has to be for API GL4 non-synchronized manual transmissions. Our steering fluid, we just found this Prestone stop leak stuff at Walmart, and we're going to run that in it. And I don't know what, Yeah, we're not gonna run Asian vehicle power steering fluid in it. So I don't know why we bought that, to be honest. Designed for Asian vehicles. Yeah, whatever. Brake fluid because we need to top it off. DOT3 and coolant. Running some Prestone. GM vehicles. Dex Cool. Then for gas, we're going to be running this acetone. I don't know what it is, but I watched a video online. The guy said just pour it in the gas tank and you're good to go, and it doesn't rot your gas lines. So you're good to put this acetone stuff in your gas lines. Now we got to head down to the barn and we got to grab the throttle cable bracket for that because it doesn't match up. The throttle cable that's in the truck right now doesn't match up with our carb there. So this is a Holley carb, Edelbrock intake, Edelbrock valve covers, Edelbrock air cleaner. Oh, one more thing. I am running out of money. I need money. Give me money. I need money.
In terms of money, we have no money.
Money is #1 priority because this thing is a money hog and I'm going to get 4 miles to the gallon whenever I'm on the throttle. So if you feel like supporting a cause, go ahead and check the link in my description because some guy reached out to me on Instagram and decided to start making some 4-wheel drive memes merchandise and whatnot. So you can go buy a t-shirt if you want to. I'm not forcing you, but I'm running out of money. Buy the t-shirt now. I don't know what the heck hit the East Coast this weekend, but it is cold. It's like 3 degrees. I mean, I could be doing this down in Florida right now. I could be living the life on a beach or whatnot, but no, I'm in freaking freezing cold Pennsylvania, freezing my you-know-what off. I got a different, like, intro ideas. What if I did, like a Cletus McFarland ripoff where I was like, heck no, sister, you're not watching the Cletus McFarland YouTube show, or whatever. So what we have to do now, it's a little dark in here, I hope you guys can see, but we got to take the 4 standoff bolts off on the carb. That bolt off, this bolt, and there's 2 more on this side over there. But we gotta take, I don't know how we're gonna get this bracket to work with my throttle cable, but I think it was bolted up right here. I don't know, we'll figure something out, figure out a way to do that. But this carb was honestly a champ. I had no problems with this carb. There's still fuel left in the lines? Oh, there is. This is how you flood a carb 101. What am I doing? Oh my god. Alright, I need to work. Okay, so I just got the carb off, and here's what she looks like. It wasn't too hard to get off. Pretty much all 4 of the bolts were actually finger tight. So, yeah. And fuel line there, that fuel line was stuck on like you wouldn't even know what, so I had to rip it apart. But we're not going to use this anyways, so if you have to, just buy a new rubber hose. But I did break that. That carb right there is actually a Holley carb. I didn't even know. Get a cold start on the old Honda here while I take the carb up to the house. This is why you buy Hondas, kids. Choke on full. Look, this is like 3-degree weather. Let's see if she needs any assistance at all. No throttle either. And she's cold too. I think I pressed the button for half a second. Like, what the heck? That's freaking crazy, man. I'll buy Yamaha Sport Quads, but I don't think I'm ever going to buy a Yamaha utility. It's so cold out that the brake lines are actually freezing. Like, I have to push them back out. She's cold. It's still snowing from like 6 days ago. It still hasn't melted. So, actually, you saw that video where we drove it in snow, and that was like forever ago. We're back in the warmth of the garage. It's freaking cold out today. But this is a Holley carb here. I don't know what CFM it is. I'm guessing 650 because that's like the 350 small block kind of go-to there. That's 650. This is also a 650 Holley. But yeah, not too much left to do here. We gotta put some more stuff on here and we'll be able to get a first start. Maybe tonight or tomorrow I'll pick up my camera and you'll be able to see the first start. So it is the next day, February 9th. It's actually my birthday, so if I could get 1,000 happy birthday, birthday boy in the comments, that'd be nice. But look what came in the mail today. Thrush welded. 2 of them because we're running dual exhaust. But we figured out the problem with, well, there wasn't really a problem. We manufactured something, so it actually works now. Throttle works. We just had to tap this out and then screw something into here, and it actually functions pretty good. Got the return spring in, so it's really stiff throttle with that. I like stiff throttles. So the only problem I'm running into right now is on the power steering pump. The power steering pump hose line doesn't thread into the back of our power steering pump. It threads into here on the actual steering box, but it doesn't thread into the back of the pump. So we gotta take this stupid box back off again. But we manufactured it so the return line actually works down in there now, so works. Okay guys, it is now like February 13th or something like that. Anyways, it's a couple days later, and my old carb was junk. Could not fire with it at all. So I went out and I bought a 1406 Edelbrock carb, 600 CFM. I found out the black carburetor that came on my truck, it was actually a 600 CFM, not a 650. So yeah, got the carb not hooked up. We have the fuel line pinched right now because we're hooking up the power steering gearbox and pump, but we're having a problem with it because our power steering pump is not pumping out the right PSI liquid. There's a little bit of liquid in there and whatnot, but it's full now, and it's not like you'll bump the key and turn the wheel and it won't pump the right amount of liquid. So everything is just going wrong. I've dealt with this pump so much. This pump is the worst. I had to get a custom hose. I got to get a custom return line. Had to like essentially notch some things, and custom bracket. It's just a piece of junk. Otherwise though, we got the timing hooked up. We had to take it out and get it to mesh the cam gear right, but I'm pretty sure we have the timing right this time. And yeah, maybe we'll get a first start here shortly. Who freaking knows? But we haven't even ran that carburetor yet. It's an electric choke instead of a manual choke. So I think it'll be a little bit better than the manual choke that was on the black carburetor. This is my air filter here. I'll put that aside. And these are my tailpipes that I'm gonna stick right out the back. I'll show you what they look like. So I'm not 100% sure where I wanna run this massive 12-inch exhaust tip out of yet. And I'm thinking right here on the side with something like, as I just scratched my bedside, but something like that on like straight out the back end like that, I think that would look sick. Dual exhaust right there. This thing's gonna be loud too, cause cutouts, dang. Just need to get it running. And in my normal fashion, it is a couple days later now, and well, we did a couple things. We retested our fuel pressure. We have the right amount of fuel pressure to our carb, so it should run good now. So, and we did get it running. It just won't hold a consistent idle. So we're gonna try and figure that out today.